Hey everyone, I'm Shenequa and I'm a teaching artist at New Sullivan.
Hi, I'm Miss Limon and I'm from New Sullivan as well.
Welcome. This video is part of an online learning initiative in partnership with Chicago Arts Partnership in Education. So today, Miss Limon and I will be teaching you all how to make a 3D object made out of paper. It can be any kind of paper. I will be using two 8.5 by 11 notebook sheet of paper. Miss Limon will have, she has her crafty paper. There's stripes, different colors. Like I said, you can use construction paper. It can be anything that you have access to at home. Also, you'll need a pair of scissors, any kind, just make sure safety scissors. Tape. If you do not have tape, feel free to use a glue stick. That'll work as well. A ruler. If you don't have a ruler, don't worry about it. We'll improvise and use our fingers to map out the distance between each line, and either a pen or a pencil to mark with, okay? So let's get right to it. So we're gonna start with one sheet. Pick whichever color. If you have the same one, it doesn't matter. 8.5 by 11. You're gonna have it horizontally towards you, and then you're gonna fold it directly in half, evenly, just like this. See that? Directly in half. Once you finish folding it, you're going to turn it towards you this way. Make sure the folding section is facing you. You're gonna grab your ruler. Now, if you don't have a ruler, like I said, we'll improvise and use your index and middle finger, 2 fingers, to map out an inch, and grab your pen or pencil, and you're gonna map it out like that, an inch, every 2 fingers, index and middle finger. You should have already about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines. Mapping out an inch. If you have a ruler, it'll make your life a lot easier. Just lay your ruler and it should equal 8 inches, and you literally map out every inch on the ruler. 7 lines. As you can see,
I'm using my paper because I do not have a ruler.
And that's perfectly fine. You can grab an edge and do that. And it doesn't have to be a pen or pencil. Just map out that inch to make it a little bit easier for you to cut. About how many lines do you have, Miss Limon?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I have 6. So 6. 6 is fine.
Smaller.
7, it's all good. Then you're gonna take your scissors and be careful. You have to cut on the fold. And when you're cutting, make sure you cut, but you're not gonna cut it completely all the way. You're gonna leave yourself 2 lines. If you're using a notebook paper, 2 lines, and you're gonna stop like that. You see that? We're not cutting it all the way. So literally 1 finger or 2 fingers you leave open. You're not gonna cut all the way to the edge. And you're gonna do that for every line. We're gonna cut it on the fold. And you keep on cutting till all of it is complete. And if you don't feel comfortable cutting, please feel free to ask a parent or a guardian to help you. And then once you're done, this is how it should look. See? Should have a little bit opening.
The back of mine. I have a
Perfect. So now you're done with that. You put this sheet of paper to the side. We're gonna grab our other sheet of paper. and we're gonna fold it vertically or hot dog style, evenly, like that, one fold. Then we're gonna fold it again on itself, the same exact way, like this, two folds. Then we're gonna fold it one more time on itself, like this, and that'll make the third fold. Just like this, boom. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna unfold it, and you should see these lines, these indentations, and we're gonna cut all the way directly on those lines. So these will be our strips that we're gonna weave with. So you're gonna
And
cut.
since I have a design on my side, I'm going to use the white side to guide me.
Exactly. You're gonna cut all the way on the folds that you've created. See? Strips, just like that. Put those to the side and keep on going. And you should have 2, 4, 6, 8, about 8 strips cut out. And that should be enough to weave onto your other sheet of paper.
I have 8 strips.
You have 8, you said, Miss Limon?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect.
They don't have to be perfect because
No, yeah, the cutting
is very straight.
So once you have all of your strips cut out, then you can bring back your weaving template, and you're gonna take one strip at a time, okay? One strip at a time, and you can start, we're gonna start off going underneath, like so, underneath, then over, then under, over, under, over, then under. And then we're gonna pull it up a bit where you can see it being a bit even on both sides, and then push it to the corner like this, okay? Then we're gonna take our other strip, and since we did the first one under, we're gonna go over it to interlock that in, and then go under, over, under, over, under, like so. And then we're gonna make sure that's even like that, push it over like so. So it should start to look a little bit like a checkerboard. If both of them looks the same, something is wrong, okay? So please check to make sure you get like a checkerboard effect. So then we have 2 of them in, we're gonna take our third strip, and since we first started off under, over, the next one is gonna be under, over, under, over, under, over. And then we're gonna make sure it slides in and stays like that, okay?
Side.
Make sure that, push it over, then we're gonna go over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, okay? Like so. And then we're just gonna keep going back and forth. So we can't go anymore.
And you might have to adjust them every time, you know, just to make sure that they're tight, even. So I'm adjusting mine, and here we go back.
You know, and take your time. There's no rush to do this. We want to make sure you're doing it right so everything can lock on itself without you working twice as hard to do it, okay? So keep in mind, this is how it should be looking. Make sure to always push them over. Make sure they're tightly woven in there. They're not going anywhere. Okay, see, you have to push over mine like this. Perfect, 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 perfect. And then the last one, boom.
I am done.
I'm
You
on my.
want to try to make them even on the top and the bottom.
Oh, I'm almost there. Okay, and then now once you're done doing that, you should have this. We should have an even amount of the paper hanging on either side, like so. Okay, like right here and right here. Try to make them even as much as possible. Then we're gonna grab our tape or glue stick, and we're going to tape down these sections on the ends right here. We're gonna tape them down just to reinforce it from moving.
I'm going to flip mine over because again, I have a design, so we don't want to see the tape.
And just to reinforce it, because we're gonna be folding it to create our 3D rectangular cube object. So what happens once we're folding it, things starts to shift. Our strips will shift a little bit. So this will keep it intact a bit better, taping down those sides. And you don't need much tape, just a little piece. Don't go crazy. You just need a few pieces of tape just to make sure that's anchored. Again, along the sides here and over here. Okay, the middle part does not need to be taped. It's woven in tightly, so you're good there. Okay, once you're done with that, we're going to begin our folding, which is very important because we have to get this cube down. So 1, 2. Okay, so now you have it all taped down well. We're gonna take the 2 sides on this end and we're gonna fold it like so. So the 2 strips, like 2 sections, 1, 2, we're gonna fold that like this. 1, 2, the first 2, fold it, okay? And really nicely, so it does like this little, it wants to stick up kind of motion. So you really have to fold it down. Then we're gonna turn it around to the other side, do the same thing. The next 2, gonna fold. Same way, make sure it's nicely folded. Put your back into it with your hands, press it down, and you should have this happening, okay? And then now we're gonna go into the middle section of the 2 and we're gonna fold it again, the same way. So basically this is half. We're folding it directly in half. And it should do this, right? It should wanna flop on itself, okay? Now that we have that going right now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our first part right here, the very first little section. So we're gonna kind of split it in half, this first row, and we're gonna do a little crease like this. It's a little crease. Little crease. Little slight crease, okay? So we did that. And then we're gonna do the same thing to the other end, just a little crease. So we have that going, okay? And then once we have that, what tends to happen is the paper naturally wants to do this already, okay? So what we're gonna do is, see how this is doing this? Is yours doing that naturally, Miss Limon?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So now we're gonna take our tape again. We're gonna rip off a little piece and starting with the middle, so it should automatically want to create the rectangular cube-like object or shape, and we're going to start in the middle and we're going to tape that down to keep that in place. And what you can do as well is try to put a few of your fingers inside to prop it up a bit so that tape is on there nicely. I know it's going to be a little difficult, but you can try. And then you're gonna go to the ends on either end and tape that down. Okay. Ooh. It doesn't have to be super perfect, but just try your best. Okay. Get that in there. Okay. And then once you're done with that, we're gonna cut a slit on either side, just a little bit. And it's sort of like when you gift wrap. You're gonna fold it inward like this. And just do a little slit on either end and then just fold it in. Boom. And then you're gonna do the same thing to the opposite side. Just slit it like this on either ends and tuck it in. And then you have it. There's your object, and then you can play with it. You can do whatever you want. It'll stand up like this on its own, or kind of. Oh, there it is. There you go. You know, you can play around with it. If you make it out of different papers, so the thicker the paper, the more sturdier it is. Since I use notebook paper, it's kind of a little flimsy, but that's okay. It's a fun little woven object. How did yours turn out, Miss Limon?
Mine turned out a little bit round.
That's fine. That's fine.
Doesn't stand up. You could grab yarn from our other projects, and
Yeah.
you know, so.
Oh, cool. Well, thank you guys for watching and taking the time out to make a cool object, 3D rectangular cube-like object. Super fun. Thank you guys so much. Please check us out at Cape Chicago, capital CAPECHICAGO.org for more videos from teachers and teaching artists around Chicago. So thank you guys. Have a good one. Bye.